take a step back and reassess why you want to take this exam and why you want to become an attorney. Surround yourself with people who care the most about you. One of the things that I remember is someone who, cared a lot about me, who asked me, is this something that you think you want to do? I mean, we see you struggle. We feel bad every time you struggle like this. And I'm like, no, I have to do it. It's my purpose. It's my why.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mind Over Legal Matter, where we approach Florida bar essays one mindful step at a time. Today, we have another guest to share her experience studying for the Florida bar exam, Miss Xixi, and she took the 2022 Florida bar exam. Is that right?
2021.
2021,
Yes.
and is here to share her experience with you because she wants to pay it forward to all of you, all those of you who dream about becoming an attorney. So let's get started. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. My name is Xixi, and I am 34. I have been practicing for 2 years now in primarily insurance defense, and I handle some complex matters as well. So it's always been a journey. It's always been a goal of mine to become an attorney, and took on this journey with Ellie, and it's been really great ever since.
Yes, definitely. So, talk to me about the first time that you took the exam. How did you study for it the very first time?
The very first time I took a big box course, and at the time we were watching videos at school, and then in the mornings, and then in the afternoons, we would do the assignments that we discussed earlier that morning. And I thought it was going to work for me, but it didn't, because I thought that as long as you did everything that they told you to do, that you would surely pass. That did not work for me because I did everything. I submitted all the essays. I did as many multiple choice questions as there were in the question bank, but I failed. And I failed because I wasn't concentrating on the areas or on the things that I needed to focus on. And so not having a tailor-made way to study really impacted me. And it wasn't studying mindfully. It was just going through the motions, which did not help.
Yeah, so you did the traditional route. You did everything that they told you to do. You did, everything on the checklist, and it didn't turn out well. So tell me about like when you got your results, like what did you feel?
First, I felt really embarrassed because I would say I never really failed an exam that I studied for before. And I didn't know what to tell my family, what to tell my friends, and those people who were helping me along the way. I felt hopeless. I was so sad. I struggled. I had mental health issues because of it. I felt like the world was ending, but it really wasn't. But I needed to take some time to reassess why I failed. And I think taking that time was important. I mean, I didn't take a lot of time, but I decided to get back up and just do it again because I had no choice. That was my goal. My goal was to be an attorney, and I needed to move forward.
Yes, and now you are an attorney. So tell me about the difference between when you passed in 2021 and the first time when things didn't go right.
The main difference was working with you and you showing me how to study for this exam. I think a lot of people can say they spent 8, 10, 12 plus hours a day studying, but if you're not studying what you need to get to get to where you need to be, then you're just, in my opinion, wasting time. And I think when you sat down with me and looked at my scores, and when you told me this is what I need to focus on, that's when the light bulb actually went off. And I thought, oh, okay, so channel my energy towards studying the important stuff, and not using 8, 10 plus hours a day, but actually using the time mindfully, and making sure that I'm sticking to everything that I'm supposed to be doing. That really helped me, as opposed to clicking through a module or listening to a video. That didn't help. And because I had already known what the basics of the black letter law, I just needed to know the nuances that everyone kind of hopes to know by the time they take the exam, to get them over that extra score so they can pass.
Yeah. So what are some study tips or study things that you did differently that time around?
I really trusted everything that you told me to do. So really, I did everything you told me to do. And I wasn't afraid to look at my outlines or to look at the rules when I was doing practice exams. Sometimes I think when you get scared, you panic and you don't know what to do. But one of the things that you told me was, hey, it's okay. If you don't remember the elements of this specific law, it's okay. Look at your outline and then briefly glance over it, and then it might help you trigger your memory. And I did that. I wasn't afraid. It wasn't studying became actually fun, which is crazy when you think about it. I ended up finding out how to study, and with that, I really gained more confidence, which made me feel even better because I was like, oh, well, now that I've scored this much today, like what can I do tomorrow? And I can't say that it was every day was, the same day. I can't say that I my scores went up every day. It was just understanding that this was a process that worked for me as opposed to just aimlessly wandering through, a module or being told what to do, even though you don't even, you yourself don't even know your weaknesses.
Yes, yes, exactly. That makes perfect sense. So, did you have any negative feelings or things holding you back when it was time to take the exam again?
Yeah, absolutely. It was always me thinking, I'm not smart enough, I'm not competent, I can't, my memory's not good enough. It was a lot of those negative feelings. It was kind of thinking, well, if I fail again, then that's it. Everyone's going to know that I failed. And it was a lot. And then I think knowing and understanding that it wasn't necessarily that I didn't understand what I was doing. It was more so that my mind was being blocked by myself. If I didn't know, if we never met, if I didn't know the resources that you introduced me to, I don't think I would have been able to unblock my mental state and how I felt about the whole process.
Yeah. What are some things that you did in that regard that you feel like helped you overcome that?
Well, two of the main things that really helped me was you introduced me to a meditation coach, and she gave me knowledge outside of just studying the Black letter law. In fact, we didn't talk about the law, we didn't talk about the exam. We just talked about how to be more present and how to make yourself a certain way in a positive way, as
Mhm.
opposed to keep thinking negatively. And you also introduced me to a mindset coach who really helped me find some things about myself that I didn't even know. So once I started working with both of them, it really, really unlocked a part of my brain that I had been suppressing for a long time. And when I realized that there were workarounds around how you feel, I think that's when I was able to absorb the material even more because it became a situation where I recognized that there was something that was blocking my mental health and it affected it. And then when I worked with them, they helped me kind of unlock those aspects that I, again, didn't even know existed.
I remember that. I remember when you had those aha moments and suddenly your scores were improving, your essays were improving, everything you were doing fantastic. And I knew that you were on the road to success. So, what would you say was the number one thing that helped you academic wise? We know that the mental stuff is very important, but academic wise, what would you say is the number one thing that helped you conquer the exam?
Working with you, and of course, and really tailoring my needs, understanding that this is an exam. It does have a lot of dry topic areas. It has a lot of substance, but I think being able to take everything piece by piece and realizing that I may be good at one thing, but I may not understand the other. And really, I think the main thing was trusting you and you telling me what to do because I feel like we get in our way. Sometimes we think, oh, well, I've done this before. I'm going to do it my way. Well, that's not going to work. So academically, you telling me how to do the things to get, to get over that median score really helped me. And that instilled the confidence in me because I felt like, well, because we worked together one on one, because you gave me all these resources, I felt like there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that there is something that I'm working towards. It wasn't just being lost. And I think everything that you gave me, everything that you told me to do, I did. And that really, really helped gain my confidence in knowing that the law is there. You just have to find ways to understand, how to do it, how to do the exam.
Yes, yes. And by the way, I'm so proud of you, and I knew that you would make it to the finish line. And but what would you say to folks that want to give up? Like I get a lot of students who will inquire and they'll tell me their stories, and they'll be like, "I've taken the exam X amount of times, and maybe I'm not meant for this. Maybe I'm not, even though I've dreamt of becoming an attorney. Maybe this isn't for me. I want to give up. I feel like I'm not smart enough, etc." Like, what would you say to them?
I would take a step back and reassess why you want to take this exam and why you want to become an attorney. Surround yourself with people who care the most about you. One of the things that I remember is someone who, cared a lot about me, who asked me, is this something that you think you want to do. I mean, we see you struggle. We feel bad every time you struggle like this. And I'm like, no, I have to do it. It's my purpose. It's my why. It's not necessarily something that people can't do. I don't like hearing that people say that they can't do it just because they're this or they're that, because I know what that feels like. But knowing that this is an exam, it doesn't define who you are, but it does give you the opportunity to become who you want to be. I would just say surround yourself with positive people, with people who do support you, and everyone else is just noise. And don't compare yourself to other people too. I would say if this is really what you want, then keep going, keep doing it. No one's judging you for the number of attempts that you make, or that you try to take the exam. Just go forward, but know that this is not impossible.
I love that, Gigi. I love that there's always a way. Surround yourself with people who are going to help you, encourage you. I mean, these are serious words of wisdom. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. And for everyone out there, for more resources, visit floridabarexamcoach.com or mindoverlegalmatter.com. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.